Hello and welcome to Fred TV News. I'm John DeSano and I'm your host. Our first story today is more like an experiment of going phoneless, and it's my story, so I wanted to bring this to you. So tell me, how would you do without a phone for a day? Would you feel lost, or would you welcome the opportunity to engage in activities and conversations with the people around you?
A lot of people today will say that the kids of this generation and future generations are too focused on their phones and electronic devices. In this experiment, we have asked several people to participate to go completely phoneless for a whole day. Our goal is to see how it affects their lives.
I use my phone for a lot of things throughout the day. I listen to music, I talk to people on my phone if I have to communicate with anyone, and if I'm in a certain class where I need a calculator, then I can use it because it's automatically on my phone. I think my biggest concern about going phoneless would probably be that if I had to communicate or contact my mom or dad if there was some sort of emergency, I wouldn't be able to.
It's no wonder why teens are addicted to their phones. On average, children between the ages of 8 and under already own their own cell phone or electronic device, while 38% of children under 2 use the mobile device for media. Imagine that.
I got a cell phone around the age of 14, and I feel it's important to get one at that age because it's to ensure safety in the kid. You want to make sure you know where they are. Like if they're at a soccer practice and you need to pick them up, but you're running late. You can call them and tell them, hey, I'm running late, instead of leaving them out in the dark, not knowing what to do.
Although there are advantages to owning a cell phone, there are also negatives. Based on our experiment, people enjoy life more when they actually experience it.
They say that technology is great, although it does have its disadvantages when it replaces the person-to-person connection. It's definitely become a way of the present and future. Take, for example, graphic art and design. This is one of the field of study that has benefited from technology and its advances.
What is graphic design? Graphic design is the process of visual communications and problem solving. It uses a combination of text, pictures, and illustration. The form it takes can be physical or virtual.
I think it was around 1995 when I saw that the computer in the industry of graphic design was going to really take off, and it has. It's one of those industries that is going to continue to grow. It's not something that we're going to go backwards on. There's always going to be a need for graphic designers.
Graphic design is used in every aspect of our lives. We see graphics on cereal boxes, billboards, movie posters, magazines, and more. All these things you see on a daily basis include graphic design. What are some things that you notice on a daily basis that include graphic design?
Through social media, artwork, and out in the community.
Graphic design is a tool that enhances our way of communication with other people. Graphic design is also a key component in driving advertisements and attracting us to brands and helping companies grow.
So when we think art, we typically think about painting on a canvas, graffiti, or sketching. But have you ever thought about cake decorating as an art form? Let's check it out.
Art exists in so many forms. We see it everywhere, in classrooms, in billboards, in businesses, and so much more. Who would ever thought that cake decorating would be one of those forms of art? I'm Nicole Aguiar, and let's check it out. Many people don't realize that there is a lot of work that goes into decorating a cake. First, you need to bake the cake, obviously. But depending on how you want to decorate the cake, you may need more ingredients and all sorts of tools to perfect your design into cake form.
Cake decorating is definitely an artistic interpretation of yourself and also of what your client's expectations are.
Compared to regular art forms, cake decorating can be seen as a more tasty combination of sculpting and painting. You have to have a cake structure as your base and then coat it with a layer of fondant and frosting. You will then use various tools to add on creative and marvelous structures. Cake decorating is such a popular art form that there are TV shows and even competitions that showcase young bakers' artwork out for the public eye. If you attend one of these competitions, just remember, look, but don't touch.
The competition is open to students, but it's also open to members of the community. And I can also see if you place at a competition such as this, that might be the inspiration or enough of an incentive to keep you to continue forward trying to either finish school, start your own business, or to move into doing cakes and cake design.
The art of cake decorating sounds like a lot of fun, but I'd rather eat the cake myself. I'm Nicole Aguiar, back to you in the studio.
Music is another art form that is evident in our everyday lives. Whether we're on a phone, in our cars, watching television, or even at the gas pumps, music can be heard. One style of music that is on the rise lately is hip-hop. Here's Michael with a story featuring one of our own teachers at Durfee High School and how hip-hop affects his life and the lives of others.
Many people listen to hip-hop. I think it is cool. What do you think?
So there are many reasons why I like hip-hop music. First of all, it brings all different types of cultures together, ethnicities, races, and diverse ethnic backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds as well. It started in the projects on the streets of New York, and now it's spread to the suburbs, and it has gone worldwide. I also like it because it's not just music. It's a form of dance. It's a form of art, DJing. It's even a form of fashion now. So it's more than just music. It's a culture, and I feel it's a way that people live, and I feel it can be positive if used in the right manner. That's actually an excellent question, the future of hip-hop music. There's really, it's boundless. It's already traveled across the globe. It's already all over Europe, Asia, South America. Now it's getting into Africa. So what once started on the streets, as I mentioned, is now corporate. People are getting paid for hip-hop artwork used as corporate logos. So I think that's going to continue. You see the commercials on television, even like car commercials are using hip-hop music more in the background as the instrumentals. So hip-hop artists are finally starting to get their due. They're finally starting to make what they're worth. And I feel that more kids are going to get an opportunity in the future.
What do you think?
As you can see, many of the teachers here are creative and fun. Another interesting class here at the high school is speech. This class teaches students how to formulate their words and communicate better in the real world. Here's Jerry with that story.
Speech and definitely fun, interesting. Check it out.
Yeah, and my speech, glass we, playing game we, and so much more. I like speech definitely because it helps me feel more fit and smart. We learn to spend.
I love to teach speech therapy because I help my students with communication skills, and hopefully I help them that way to succeed in the classroom.
Speech therapy can help others, people, feel more content, meet friend, and have some fun. Speech is important in community with others. It will also help you disappear for a job.
The speech is really important to help you to communicate. It's how important it is to get a job, to learn in school, or to talking to your teachers, friends, parents, or grandparents. There are many people like it, so it's important how to get a job or everything. So that's how I'm going to say that as well.
It's definitely a great experience. Jerry, Fantasy News.
Jerry and Ezra enjoy speech class, but Ezra is here to show us another one of his classes. I think this one is his favorite one, geometry. Ezra finds geometry very useful in the classroom in the real world. Here he is with that story.
Hi, I'm Ezra Ahmad. Many people think geometry is not fun or useful. I'm going to prove them wrong. Come and take a look.
In geometry with Ms. Boucher, we learned about parallel, quadrilateral, vertical angles, and congruent triangles. We also take quizzes and learn more about translations, reflections, and rotations. We also learn square roots, multiplying and dividing, like fractions, have numerators and denominators as well.
So geometry is the study of the size, shape, and properties of 2- and 3-dimensional figures and shapes. So it's important to study geometry to learn about the patterns, areas, volumes, lengths, and angles of different figures and shapes, and just to better understand the world around us.
Many students are doing well during geometry classes. However, sometimes it's not easy you may think. We have another teacher that helps students in the classroom so that students can have a more complete understanding of geometry. Geometry has many uses in real life. Some of those include measurements in construction, architecture, or video game design. Many people using calculators, or maybe your head if you think.
So many professions use geometry. It's also in nature all around us. But people in professions like engineering, construction, interior design, lots of different professions use geometry. They measure things, they work with different types of angles. So it's really important that they have those skills so that they are able to do their job.
That's it, folks. Please join us in the geometry programs. Did you have any questions? Go to your grade office. I'll see you next time. I'm Ezra Ahmad.
Speaking of real world, there are lots of classes at Durfee that prepare you for the real world. So you're getting an education, but also a real life experience. One of those classes is culinary class. These students are fortunate to work at the Trade Winds restaurant to better their skills and experiences. Take a look.
Did you know that Durfee has a culinary class and a restaurant? Let's check it out.
The Trade Winds restaurant is open to the public, as well as the staff at Durfee High School. It offers affordable, nutritious homemade lunches 3 days a week in addition to breakfast items for the early morning crowd. The bakery offers a variety of breakfast pastries and desserts too.
The experience that student's going to get is customer service. How to speak to a guest, tone, pitch, being poised in every situation, and working with that customer in money transactions and trying to make sure that that guest is happy coming into a restaurant and just as happy or more leaving.
According to Ray Medeiros, Career Technical Education Director at the high school, students have the option of exploring multiple career programs. At the Trade Winds, students explore the art of culinary and learn how to construct and bake.
I use the skills that I've learned in the culinary program in the situations that I end up with every day with the customers and cooking. I have it in the back of my head most of the time, or the chefs will be there to remind us, and I can use those skills in the front, in the back, and I can also use them at home.
The vocational educator shares that many of the upperclassmen enrolled in the program hold part-time jobs in local restaurants. Many graduates also pursue higher education in hospitality studies, culinary arts, and baking and pastry arts at Bristol Community College, Johnson & Wales, and other colleges too.
Well, that is it for today. Broadcasting the Trade Winds restaurant. I'm Oscar Bonilla. Have a delicious day.
Well, that's all for our show. Hope you enjoyed watching our newscast. Until next time, I'm Jonathan Sonero for Fred TV News.